Hello students, welcome to the Hindu News Analysis by Baji IAS Academy. So today we will discuss some of the most important and relevant news articles, and they are useful for the examination. So before actually discussing these important news articles, please subscribe to Baji IAS Academy YouTube channel and also hit the bell icon so that you will get all important updates regarding the new classes. Okay, so these are the list of important and relevant news articles for today's discussion. The first important news article is the jurisdictional conflict in the running of Delhi administration. Yesterday also we have discussed about the tussle or the ongoing conflict over the administrative jurisdiction of civil servants in Delhi between the union government and the government of Delhi. So in this respect, there was a judgment of the Supreme Court Constitutional Bench in the year 2018. So as part of this article, we will try and understand the observations, the important observations of the Supreme Court in this respect. The second article is ISRO successfully commences testing of semi-evergreen engine. Okay, so sorry, semi-cryogenic engine. So as part of this article, we will try and understand what is a semi-cryogenic engine and what are the applications of semi-cryogenic engine, why ISRO has demonstrated the technology to have such a semi-cryogenic engine. National Technology Day 2023. Its date, history and significance. Kerala, in fact, the first Indian state to have drone surveillance in all police districts. Okay, so Kerala became the first Indian state to have such a drone surveillance mechanism. How was Cyclone Mokha named? So Cyclone Mokha recently developed in the Bay of Bengal. It is also expected to make a landfill between Myanmar and Bangladesh. So in this respect, we will try and understand how cyclones are named, why it is important to name cyclones. Rabindranath Tagore's Shanti Niketan recommended for UNESCO's heritage list status. Okay, so Shanti Niketan will be included in UNESCO heritage list. So this will provide additional protection and the conservation of Shanti Niketan. Now, the next important news article is Mpox no longer a global health emergency declared by World Health Organization. Mpox is a monkeypox disease and it will be out of the the impacts, the health impacts which are critical. So they have international concern. Okay, so it is removed from the list of such very critical, or they may pose global health emergency risks. And mpox and covid-19 pandemic have also removed from the list of PHIEC. Okay, they cause public health emergency of international concern. Now, United Kingdom to supply Storm Shadow long range missiles to Ukraine. Okay, so the last important article is first baby with DNA from three people born in United Kingdom. Right. So the first very important news article is with respect to the conflict or the crisis in Delhi over the administration between the union government and also the state government in Delhi. Okay, so these are important observations made by the Supreme Court Constitution Bench in the year 2018. The Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi and Union of India 2018. Now see, uh, Article 239 AA and Article 239 AB. So they have provided, these two articles have provided democratic and representative form of government in National Capital Territory of Delhi. Okay, so now the Delhi Legislative Assembly has a powers to legislate on National Capital Territory of Delhi, both in the state list subjects as well as the concurrent list subjects. Okay, so if the center or the union government or the lieutenant governor is not allowed to exercise the administrative powers or the executive powers which are guaranteed under Article 239 and Article 239 AB to the democratically elected government in Delhi, that would be futile. Okay, that would turn futile. That would also amounts to denying the constitutionally guaranteed powers to the Delhi Legislative Assembly or to the democratically elected government in Delhi. Okay, so however, as part of its observations, Supreme Court held that if it because denying the powers to the Delhi government or the democratically elected government would also leads to the violation of constitutional morality, cooperative federalism, constitutional conscience, and pragmatic federalism. Okay, so these principles are inherently provided in the Indian Constitution. Okay, so these principles are violated if the powers which are generally earmarked to the Delhi government under Article 239 AA and Article 239 AB were not given. Okay, so recently, Lieutenant Governor, the court has also mentioned the powers. Okay, it also reminds the lieutenant governor what are his real functions are. Okay, so he should not breach, he should not cross the lines. Now it tells the state government also that state should remember that Delhi is a special category union territory. So Delhi is different from the other union territories. We have states and union territories, but Delhi is different. Why Delhi is different? It is because the capital. Okay, it is capital. So therefore, Delhi is considered as a special category union territory. Because of this reason, there is a need to remind the respective powers and the responsibilities of the lieutenant governor and also the democratically elected government. However, in the year 2018, the judgment by the Constitutional Bench has clarified and settled many contentious issues. Okay, the contentious issues include powers of the Lieutenant Governor vis-a-vis the elected government in Delhi and the discretionary power of the Lieutenant Governor. Apart from that, the judgment has also clarified the extent of the executive powers of the state government of Delhi. Okay, however, please remember Article 239 AA clause 4. Okay, Article 239 AA clause 4 says that in case of a difference of opinion between the Council of Ministers and the Lieutenant Governor shall recommend the matter to the President. Okay, shall recommend the matter to the President and will act. The Lieutenant Governor will act according to the advice given by the Lieutenant Governor, advice given by the President, or the decision taken by the President. However, in the recent past, even normal issues also being reserved by the lieutenant governor for the consideration of president, and this has been impacting delhi's administration and governance, and that has been leading to frequent conflicts. But please remember the constitutional provision Article 239 A. Okay, so this says that in case of a difference of opinion between lieutenant governor and his ministers on any matter, lieutenant governor shall refer it to the president for decision. Okay, so the court directs the lieutenant governor not to refer the president. Okay, the court has also directed the lieutenant governor that not to refer the normal matters. Okay, so the lieutenant governor should not refer the normal administrative matters to the president, because if he continue to refer the normal administrative matters to the president, this will impact Delhi's administration, Delhi's governance. Along with it also violates the principles like the concept of constitutional governance, principles of collaborative federalism, and standards of constitutional morality. Okay, so these are the observations of the Supreme Court Constitution Bench in 2018 Government of NCT of Delhi versus Union of India case. Okay, now please understand there was another article. Okay, Article 239 A clause 3 and subclause A. Okay, please also remember this article along with Article 239 AA clause 4. So this article 239 A clause 3 and subclause A says that parliament can legislate on any matter with respect to Delhi, whether it is the state list or the concurrent list. Okay, so in the normal circumstances, generally the parliament cannot legislate on the state list subjects. Parliament cannot legislate on state list subjects with respect to the other states. However, Indian Constitution Article 239 AA Clause 3 and Sub Clause A says that Indian Parliament can legislate on any matter that includes state list matter or concurrent list matter with respect to Delhi. However, the executive power of the union only limited to three aspects, that is police, public order, public order, and land. So only these three aspects the executive power of the union extends. Otherwise, all the executive matters with respect to Delhi will be under the administrative jurisdiction of the Delhi government headed by Chief Minister. Under the Delhi government headed by Chief Minister. However, there is only one occasion where the executive power of the government of Delhi. Okay, so the executive power of the government of Delhi is overruled by the union government. Okay, so that is mentioned in Article 239 AA and Class 4. Okay, so in this article says that in case of a difference of opinion, for example, imagine the Delhi government has come up with an executive decision. Okay, Delhi government has come up with an executive decision. Now, in case of difference of opinion on this executive decision, this matter will be referred to the center or the president. Okay, so in this case, it is Home Minister. It will be under Home Minister, and center will have a very effective say on this. Okay, center will have an effective say on this, and this will in turn a source of conflict. This will in turn a source of conflict between the Delhi government and the union government. Okay, because Article 239 AA clearly says that in case of a difference of opinion, it should be referred to the president. However, Indian judiciary or the Supreme Court suggests that normal administrative matters should not be referred by the Lieutenant Governor to the President. Okay, because President is the highest constitutional authority, and his decision should be sought only on constitutionally important issues. Okay, so whenever a matter, an executive matter or the legislative matter, is constitutionally very important, then only the Lieutenant Governor should refer the matter to the President. Okay, so now please understand the constitutional scheme actually adopted. Okay, the constitutional scheme which is generally adopted by Indian constitution, it says that the national capital territory of Delhi conceives council of ministers. Okay, so council of ministers are generally the elected representatives of the people. Okay, council of ministers are elected representatives of people. So because of this is a union territory, the center also exerts some powers. Okay, center also have some powers with respect to Delhi. Now, center appoints the lieutenant governor as a nominee or the president. So, okay, nominee for the president on the other. So who required to function in harmony with the constitutional parameters. Okay, so both the elected representative of NCT of Delhi, that is Council of Ministers, and the lieutenant governor also should work in harmony. Okay, they should work in harmony within the constitutional parameters, so that there will be no conflict over the administration of Delhi. Okay, so it will be a smooth process, and it will also facilitate collaborative and cooperative federalism. Now, apart from this, they said that the lieutenant governor should not emerge as an adversary. Okay, so in this case, lieutenant governor should not emerge as an adversary, having a hostile attitude towards the democratically elected government or towards the council of ministers. Rather, the the lieutenant governor should play a facilitator role. Okay, the lieutenant governor should play the facilitator role, so that the conflict or a tussle like situation between union and the Delhi government will not arise in very important union territory. Okay, national capital territory of Delhi. Now, the next important news article is with respect to ISRO successfully commences testing of cryogenic engine. Okay, testing of cryogenic engine, right? So now Why testing of cryogenic engine is very important? Why testing of cryogenic engine is very important? Because see, India indigenously developed its cryogenic engine, right? So in fact, US denied India the cryogenic engine technology, and even Russia also denied India the cryogenic technology. However, India indigenously developed the cryogenic engine technology. See, remember, cryogenic engine technology is very important. Cryogenic engine technology is very important for India because it will be used for launching heavy lift class, okay, heavy lift vehicles. It will have a very significant implications. It will have a very significant applications. See, earlier India used to, or ISRO used to develop Ariane rocket to launching its satellites. Okay, the communication satellites especially. But India has developed the cryogenic engine. India, it is important. It will help India to have to enable development of heavy lift capability for future Indian space transportation systems. Right. So in future also we have plans to send humans into space. Okay, under Gaganyaan mission. Okay, Gaganyaan mission. Now, under Gaganyaan mission, Chandrayaan, okay, Chandrayaan and Aditya L1 mission, and India have plans to develop the space station on the lines of International Space Station by the year 2030. Okay, so for all these missions, India require heavy lift capability vehicles, and semi cryogenic engine will enable India to develop heavy lift capability for future Indian space transportation systems. Okay, future Indian space transportation systems. However, please remember, this is the first of a series of tests that were actually planned to validate design the propellant feed system. Okay, this will include the low pressure, high pressure turbopumps and the gas generator and control components. Okay, the semi cryogenic engine test includes the low pressure, high pressure turbo pumps. So they are important part of the propulsion system. Okay, so the gas generator and the control components. Now the liquid propulsion system center of ISRO has undertaken design and development of semi cryogenic engine. Okay, so this has overall taken the lead for the design and development of semi-cryogenic engine with 2000 kilonewtons of thrust. 2000 kilonewtons of thrust will be generated by this semi-cryogenic engine. Okay, so this is developed by Liquid Propulsion System Center of ISRO. Please remember this. Okay, so there is also Indian industry participation in the development of semi-cryogenic engine. Okay, so this will power the booster stages of future launch vehicles. So India has been planning to launch several such future missions, and this semi-cryogenic engine will power the booster stages of future launch vehicles. However, please also understand, according to the ISRO, semi-cryogenic propulsion system project envisages design and development of 2000 kilonewtons of semi-cryogenic engine. Okay, so this is otherwise dubbed as SC120 stage. Okay, SC120 stage. Please remember this name, SC120 stage, cryogenic engine 120 stage. Okay, so this stage or this semi cryogenic engine will enable the development of heavy lift capability for future Indian space transportation systems. Okay, this is actually the notice by ISRO. So ISRO says that ISRO commences the semi cryogenic engines, and this is the part of the first test, and that has been conducted by the Liquid Propulsion Systems Center in Mahendragiri successfully. Okay, this is actually a step towards 2000 kilonewtons of thrust engine for future launch vehicles. So this is all about this article. Let's discuss the next important news article. So this is with respect to the National Technology Day 2023 and its history, why National Technology Day is actually celebrated, and what is the theme of National Technology Day 2023, because India has also been celebrating the National Technology Day, and this theme is also important for the exam. Please remember, on May 18, 1998, India successfully conducted the nuclear tests in Pokhran Test Range in Rajasthan. Okay, Pokhran Test Range in Rajasthan. So after the successfully conducting these tests, Indian Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee declared that India became a nuclear state. Okay, India became a nuclear state after successfully conducting these tests. Okay, so after the conducting of these tests, India is the sixth country. Okay, India became the sixth country to enter the Allied Nuclear Club. So before India, only five countries have nuclear weapons. So what are those countries? They are P5 members of United Nations Security Council. That includes China, USA, Russia, UK, France, okay, UK and France. Okay, so after these countries, India become the sixth country in the Allied Nuclear Club. So because of this reason, India celebrates National Technology Day every year. Okay, so we already discussed the Pokhran test of 1998. It consists of five nuclear tests. Okay, the Pokhran test of 1988 consists of five nuclear tests of advanced weapon designs to test the advanced weapon designs. So the first three tests were conducted in May 11 itself, and the next series of tests were conducted or they took place in the May 13. So alternative day. Okay, so the tests were conducted in the code name of Operation Shakti. Okay, Operation Shakti was the code name of these tests, the Pokhran nuclear test. So this is also known as this overall operation. Code name is Operation Shakti. Okay, overall operation is known as Pokhran 2. Okay, now APJ Abdul Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam played a very crucial and prominent role during the Pokhran 2 nuclear tests. Okay, so because of this, and also APJ Abdul Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam played a very crucial role in integrated guided missile development program of India. So this includes missiles like Nag, Agni, Trishul, Akash. Okay, so in all these missile development, integrated guided missile development program, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam played a very crucial role. So, because of all these reasons, he is known as the Missile Man of India. Okay, he is known as the Missile Man of India. Now, in 2023, India has been celebrating the National Technology Day on May 8. Okay, on May 11, sorry, on May 11, India has been celebrating the National Technology Day also. So, the theme of the National Technology Day is School to Startups Igniting Young Minds to Innovate. Okay, so this is actually the theme of National Technology Day. Now, this National Technology Day has been specially focusing on the Atal Innovation Mission. So we see Atal Innovation is also concerned with the igniting young minds to innovate. So therefore, the focus will be on Atal Innovation Mission. So the government initiative, this is actually the Atal Innovation Mission is actually a government initiative to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship across the length and breadth of the country, especially in the young minds. Okay, so it will promote the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship among young minds. Now, very often students confuse between National Technology Day and National Science Day. National Science Day is generally celebrated on 28th February. Okay, so National Science Day is generally celebrated on 28th February. So it is generally celebrated to commemorate in honor of Dr. Sir C.V. Raman in his legacy for discovery of Raman effect on 28th February 1928. Now, please understand the difference between National Technology Day, and that is celebrated on May 11, and also National Science Day. This is actually celebrated on February 28th. Okay, so these two dates are very important, and also understand the context because of which these Science Day and Technology Day are being celebrated. Now, also understand that recently Kerala became the first Indian state to have a comprehensive drone surveillance. Comprehensive drone surveillance. See, in India, in recent past, the drone related activities have been increasing in a rapid pace. Okay, so therefore, it also posing security threats. Okay, drones have also been posing these security threats. So, keeping in mind the security threats which are posed by these drones, Kerala is the first Indian state to have a drone surveillance in all police districts. Okay, in all police districts. Now, Kerala has become the first state in the country to have a drone surveillance system in all police districts in the state. Okay, on police districts in the state. The Chief Minister of Kerala, who is Pinarayi Vijayan, he distributed drones to all police districts, and drone pilot licenses were also given to specially trained drone pilots. Okay, so a training is also given to the drone pilots, and the trained pilots. Chief Minister of Kerala has also given the licenses. Okay, so apart from having the drone surveillance system for the first time in the state, Kerala has also indigenously developed anti-drone software. So what is the role and responsibility of the anti-drone software? Because if any anti-social element uses drones for any purpose, or they create any security like situation, you know, then a threat to security or challenge to law and order, the anti-drone system will be able to track the drones. Okay, will be able to track the drones, and it will also make the drone inactive. Okay, it will also make the drone inactive, and will also retrieve all the necessary information from the drone which has been used to create a security challenge. Now, Kerala police had sent 25 personnel uh, to Indian Institute of Technology. Okay, IIT Madras is providing training and necessary technological inputs to the Kerala government. Okay, so several other police personnel who are operating drones are also given training through a drone labs in Kerala. Okay, Kerala has also created drone labs. Okay, now Kerala is the first state to develop the drone surveillance system, and also it also developed a drone forensic lab and anti-drone system, which is indigenously developed at the state level. Now, what the drone forensic lab will do? So, the drone forensic lab can identify the malicious drones, and it will also recover the full data. Okay, and the data which is already retrieved from such drones will be analyzed properly to understand the threat perception from such a drones. Okay, so it has also developed an indigenous anti-drone system. So indigenous anti-drone system could spot a drone within the 5 kilometer radius. Okay, if within the 5 kilometer radius, anti-drone system could spot any drone. And after identifying the drone, this anti-drone system will mobilize such a drone and seize it. And the drone forensic lab will retrieve all the information and make a detailed analysis on the data which is already retrieved from such a drones. Okay, the next very important news article is with respect to cyclone Mocha or cyclone Mocha, right? So cyclone Mocha has recently developed in Bay of Bengal. Okay, it is being developed in the Bay of Bengal, and it is also expected to make a landfall. It also expected to make a landfall between Bangladesh and Myanmar, and it is also said that the landfall, or because of a cyclone, several places in India will also experience intense rainfall. Okay, several places will also experience intense rainfall. So why actually the cyclones are named? Why actually cyclones are named? Why there is a need to name cyclones in India? We'll try and understand this in a detailed way. Okay, so a low pressure area. Cyclones are generally associated with the low pressure area. Cyclones are generally associated with the low pressure area. So cyclone, a low pressure area, was formed over the Bay of Bengal, and it has further intensified into cyclone Mocha. Okay, cyclone Mocha. So now this is expected to make a landfall between Bangladesh. It is expected to make a landfall between Bangladesh and Myanmar and bring a very heavy rainfall in some parts of India. Okay, so the cyclone Mocha, like every tropical cyclone, cyclone Mocha is also given a name. Okay, so why there is a need to give such a name is primarily because it will make the identification of cyclone easier, and it will also issue easy warnings and create awareness about the cyclone development. Okay, so it will also create awareness about the cyclone development. Now, Yemen suggested the name for cyclone York. Okay, so Yemen suggested the name for cyclone Mocha. Okay, so which is supposed to be pronounced as Mocha. Now, please also remember the cyclone has named after a Red Sea port. So we all know that this is actually the Red Sea, Arabian Peninsula. Okay, this is Arabian Peninsula, this is Yemen, and this is Oman. Now Yemen given name for cyclone Mocha, and Yemen, the Mocha is generally a port town. Okay, this is actually a port city, and the city has also gave its name for a popular beverage called Cafe Mocha. Okay, a popular name for Cafe Mocha, right? So please remember, the name has been given to this cyclone by Yemen, and this is a Red Sea port, and this is also known for this city is also known for coffee production. Now, tropical cyclones are named by six regional specialized meteorological centers. Okay, six regional meteorological centers and five regional tropical cyclone warning centers. Now, Indian Meteorological Department is one such regional specialized meteorological centers in India. Okay, regional specialized meteorological center in India. Now, so why are cyclones named? Why there is a need to name a cyclones? So there are different or number of reasons for naming a cyclones, because it will be particularly helpful for the scientific community to identify different cyclones which originate over a same period of time, and it will also helpful for media to disseminate information or create awareness among the people about the cyclone, and will also enable us to disseminate the warnings rapidly and quickly, so that we can evacuate as many number of people as possible, and will reduce the impact or to mitigate the impacts of such a cyclones. Okay, so in case, imagine if two cyclones developed over a period of time, and these two cyclones make landfall in different periods of time. So therefore, in order to avoid confusion with respect to these two cyclones, the names are being given to differentiate between these two cyclones. Okay, this will further reduce the confusion over these two cyclones. Okay, so this is all about the cyclone Mocha and how the names are generally given for cyclone Mocha. Now, Rabindranath Tagore's Shanti Niketan was recommended for UNESCO Heritage List. Okay, it will be included in the United Nations, UNESCO Heritage List. So, including this in the UNESCO Heritage List will provide additional safeguards, will provide more protection and conservation status to the Shanti Niketan. Okay, so this is the Shanti Niketan of Rabindranath Tagore. Now, let's try and understand. Shanti Niketan is a place where Rabindranath Tagore built Vishwa Bharati. Okay, Rabindranath Tagore is built Vishwa Bharati a century ago. Okay, so it is actually recommended for inclusion into the UNESCO World Heritage List by International Advisory Body. Now, International Advisory Body has recommended the inclusion of Shanti Niketan into the UNESCO World Heritage List. So we also know that in India, several places already included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Okay, so including any monument into the UNESCO World Heritage List will provide more protection, will give more safeguards. A conservation efforts would be undertaken by the governments, the respective governments. So it is very significant. Okay, now the France-based International Council for Monuments and Sites, so this has recommended the inclusion of the Shantiniketan into the UNESCO World Heritage List. Okay, so this International Council on Monuments and Sites is generally a non-governmental organization. Okay, this is non-governmental organization, and it is particularly dedicated for the conservation and enhancement of architecture and landscape heritage around the world. Okay, now in Shantiniketan, Rabindranath Tagore built a Vishwa Bharati. Okay, so Rabindranath Tagore built a Vishwa Bharati, and Vishwa Bharati is actually the communion of world with India. Okay, so this is actually a communion of world with India, and it is built by Rabindranath Tagore. So Rabindranath Tagore is the first person in India to receive a Nobel Prize. Okay, he is the first person in India to Nobel Prize. Now, the Vishwa Bharati consists of two towns. One is Shantiniketan and other is Sriniketan, and this was built in the year 1921. Okay, so before independence, Before independence, Shanti Niketan or Vishwa Bharati was regarded as the college. So before actually we are getting independence, this was regarded as the college. But after independence in the year 1951, Vishwa Bharati was declared as the institution of national importance through an act of parliament. Okay, so later it was also become or it also given the status of central university. Now Vishwa Bharati or the Shanti Niketan is now the Central University. Now, please also remember this is very important. The President of India, Prime Minister of India, and also the Governor of West Bengal enjoys a certain status with respect to the Vishwabharati or Shanti Niketan. Okay, so President is known as Paridarsaka. Okay, President is known as Paridarsaka or a visitor into the Shanti Niketan University, and Prime Minister is known as Acharya, Chancellor in the Central University of Shantiniketan, and Governor of West Bengal is known as Pradhana, Rector of the University, Rector of the University. So please remember these three terms with respect to the Shantiniketan University. So this is all about it. Now, World Health Organization, United World Health Organization has recently declared monkeypox. Monkeypox as will no longer be a global health emergency, will no longer be declared as a global health emergency. Now see, please understand, there is a list, the list is called as a public health emergency of international concern, public health emergency of international concern. So currently there are three diseases which are part of the public health emergency of international concern. They include COVID-19, mpox or monkeypox, and also the polio virus, now, these two were removed from the public health emergency of international concern because there is a significant decline in cases of both COVID-19 pandemic and also mpox. And also apart from this, the world has also developed the capabilities to deal with the both COVID-19 pandemic and mpox also. However, the polio virus still remained in the list of the public health emergency of international concern. Okay, so he is actually the head of the World Health Organization. His name is Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. So in exams, for example, the state PSC exams, SSC exams, there are very often questions like who is the chief of World Bank, or who is the director of International Monetary Fund, etc. So he is actually David Malpass. Okay, David Malpass. In the same way, World Health Organization chief is also Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. Okay, so recently World Health Organization has declared that mpox no longer constitutes a global health emergency and it will be removed from the public health emergency of international concern. Public health emergency of international concern. Okay, so it is declared almost exactly a year after disease were formerly known as monkeypox started spreading globally. Okay, so previous year the monkeypox disease has started spreading globally. Even in states like Kerala, also there were several reports of this virus has been spreading. Okay, monkeypox virus has been spreading among the people. Now, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who is World Health Organization chief, he said that decision was prompted by the falling cases. Okay, there was a significant decline in cases. However, there is a decline in the cases worldwide. The chief of WHO also emphasized that the disease remains a threat. Okay, these diseases, either it is COVID-19 pandemic or monkeypox diseases, remain a significant, threat to the entire global public health. Especially in countries like poor underdeveloped countries in Africa, because they do not have the adequate mechanisms in place to deal with such a public health emergency, especially the monkeypox disease. Now, this announcement is actually significant. Why it is significant? Last week, COVID-19 pandemic was also removed from the list of public health emergency of international concern list. Okay, so this COVID-19 pandemic first removed, and then monkeypox, mpox disease was also removed from this list. Okay, only one such virus which is now part of the public health emergency of international concern is polio virus. Okay, polio virus still part of the public health emergency of international concern. So after the emergency status was lifted for COVID and Mpox, there is now just one WHO designated or WHO declared public health emergency of international concern, that is polio virus. And this polio virus is actually declared as a public health emergency in the year May 2014. Okay, now understand the monkeypox disease. The monkeypox disease is actually caused by Mpox disease. Okay, monkeypox virus is caused by Mpox. It causes Mpox disease, and it is actually transmitted through the close contact between the infected individuals and also the infected animals. Okay, so it is contagious, and human to human transmission is also possible in the Mpox disease. However, please remember the Mpox disease was first discovered in the year 1980 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, so until last year, its spread among humans had been mainly limited to certain West and Central African countries. Okay, so because last year we have seen the monkeypox disease spread to different parts of the world. So until last year, it is primarily limited to the Central and West African countries. Okay, in India, states like Kerala have also experienced the spread of monkeypox diseases among the people. Now, the next very important news article is with respect to UK supplies Storm Shadow long range missiles to Ukraine. Okay, Storm Shadow long range missiles to Ukraine. Now, Russia has a war has broke out. Okay, Ukraine and Russia war broke out last year February, and it still continues. Okay, it still continues. Now several European Union countries and NATO countries have been providing the military assistance and also the financial support to Ukraine. Okay, so because Ukraine has shown intention to be part of NATO grouping or the European Union. Okay, so Ukraine has a Russia tense relations with Russia. So it is often said that Russia's invasion of Ukraine is result of Ukraine's intention to join the NATO grouping. Ukraine's intention to join the NATO groupings. Okay, Russia skeptical that Ukraine joining NATO grouping would bring advanced weapons at the borders of Russia. Okay, so because of all these reasons, Russia invaded Ukraine. Now, European countries and NATO countries have been providing assistance, military assistance, and financial assistance to Ukraine. Now, United Kingdom or the Britain government has yesterday declared that the Storm Shadow missiles. Okay, so you may get the question: Storm Shadow missile supplied to Ukraine is supplied by which of the following countries? Okay, just remember UK. UK supplied the Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine, and it is the first country. United Kingdom becomes the first country to supply the long range missiles to Ukraine. Okay, so this is actually the air launched long range deep strike weapon. Okay, the Storm Shadow missile is an air launched long range deep strike mission, and it is particularly designed to meet the demanding requirements of pre planned attacks against any high value fixed or stationary targets. Okay, so there are fixed targets, mobile targets, stationary targets, and this Storm Shadow missile particularly used for fixed or stationary targets, and this is actually an air launched long range deep strike weapon. Okay, now the missile which can operated in extreme conditions. Okay, so it can be operated in all weather conditions, and this missile has also been used by both British and French forces during the Gulf War, Iraq War, and Libya War itself. Now, please understand, after USA, Ukraine is this, after USA, United Kingdom is actually the second largest provider of military assistance to Ukraine. Okay, so Ukraine requires some military assistance because of its attack on its attack by Russia. So therefore, after US, United Kingdom is the second largest supplier of military assistance to Ukraine. So, United Kingdom has already donated anti-tank missiles, artillery guns, air defense systems, armored fighting vehicles, anti-structure munitions, M270 long-range multiple launch rocket systems are already being supplied to the Ukraine by UK government. Okay, so they will continue to supply such equipment to the Ukraine. Now, next important news article is with respect to the DNA. Okay, this is actually a baby is being born with DNA from three individuals. Generally, a baby have DNA of both mother and father. Mother and father. Okay. Now, with respect to a DNA of a baby coming from three people, this is with respect to treatment of mitochondrial diseases. Okay, treatment of certain mitochondrial diseases. Okay, now please understand, every human being consists of number of cells. So in each cell there is a nucleus, and in nucleus there is a genetic material. Okay, so within the out of the nucleus there is a cytoplasm. Okay, so in the cytoplasm there consists of mitochondria, several mitochondria, and mitochondria also consists of a genetic material. Okay, now please understand this. uh, so in the mitochondrial donation treatment, the baby is actually born through mitochondrial donation treatment, and this technique actually uses the tissue of eggs from healthy female donor. Okay, so a donor is neither a parent. So okay, he or she is not a parent. Okay, he has a cells, and he also has a nucleus. Each cell also has a nucleus. Now, out of this healthy cell, a tissue is taken out. Okay, tissue is taken out from the eggs of a healthy female donors, and this will be introduced into the in vitro fertilization. Okay, in vitro fertilization, because this mitochondria is free from any harmful mutations. Okay, so this mitochondria is free from any harmful mutations. For example, the mother of a baby carries mitochondria, and the mitochondria have seen harmful mutation, and that will be very fatal to the baby. Okay, that even led to the death of a baby even hours after the birth. Okay, so because this is very fatal for the baby, uh, a new technique has been devised. Okay, this is mitochondrial donation treatment. Mitochondrial donation treatment. Now, mitochondria is generally donated from a donor, and the mitochondria will be introduced into the in vitro fertilization. Okay, in vitro fertilization embryos, and then will be introduced into the womb of a mother. Now, this mitochondrial disease is actually incurable. Okay, this mitochondrial disease which we are talking about is incurable and can be fatal within days, even hours after the birth. Okay, so they are actually passed down from the mother to the baby. Okay, so because once the mother giving birth to a baby, now if a mitochondrial disease is present in the mother, and that will be transferred from the or that will be carried from the mother to the baby. Okay, so now the mitochondrial donation treatment will make sure that such a dysfunctional mitochondria will not be carried from the mother to the baby. Okay, through a donor egg, and in vitro fertilization can be effectively used. Okay, now, please understand, in this the mitochondrial donation treatment, DNA from three people has been born. Okay, this procedure, in this procedure, 99.99.8 percentage of DNA come from both the parents of a baby. Okay, both the parents of the baby, and the rest of the DNA comes from the donor. Okay, rest of the DNA is comes from the donor. Okay, now, this pioneering technique is actually an attempt to prevent children from being infected with the devastating mitochondrial diseases. Okay. Now, please also understand, the baby will have a nuclear DNA from mother and father. Okay. So, this nuclear DNA will define the key characteristics like the personality of the baby and the eye color of the baby. Okay. Nuclear DNA itself defines the personality and eye color of the baby. Now, in addition to this, the DNA of mother and father, the baby will also have the mitochondrial DNA provided by the female donor. Okay, the baby will also have. So because of this reason, the baby will have DNA from three individuals. DNA from three individuals. Now, please also understand, UK is not the first country to come up with such a baby having a DNA of three individuals. Earlier, also in the year 2016, a Jordanian family was also given birth to a baby with the DNA of three individuals in US. Okay, so these are all important and relevant news articles for today's discussion. Okay, thank you.